Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Holy Plot. This is Liam, Jacob, and James as usual. We just watched the newest episode of My Adventures with Superman, and it was a banger. Full disclosure, it was a banger. I think we all loved it. Very excited to get into it, but before we do, just want to remind you to like, comment, and subscribe. Do everything you got to do to help our channel grow. If you like what we do, there's always more of it on the way, so stick around. But Jacob, how about you get us into some non-spoilers first for this newest episode?
Yeah, so I feel like I'm saying this every week, but for the first time, I think we're all going to agree that this is the best episode so far. It really brings it all together, and I really want to talk about what the last episode left us on and how I think they handled it basically perfectly. So the last episode gave us a little bit of a tease of evil Superman, and this episode starts with basically like golden age Superman mannerisms. He's saving kids, he's saving cats out of trees. But what it does is it really contextualizes the crux of, I think, what they're going to start to go for here, which is that evil Superman is a massive misunderstanding of Clark Kent as a person. And I think that applies to both the story and to audiences and the evil Superman tropes. So, as someone who has been just withered away by evil Superman just taking up all the talk, this episode was a godsend for me. And I know we had some skepticism about how they were going to handle it. For me, at least, this was perfect.
Yeah, I think I've been the most skeptical about this show the entire time. Especially last episode, I just felt, I don't know, I felt maybe a little burnt out by it. I didn't feel like it was really going anywhere that exciting, but this episode, man, this really did it for me. It rocked.
That's exciting to hear.
I think
I'm glad to hear that.
My the main thing I wanted from this show, which I think I talked about last episode, was I just wanted to first of all surprise me, and I wanted to just be able to take itself a little bit more seriously, darken the tone just a little bit. Not even darken, but just like mature the tone.
For sure, yeah.
We'll see characters go through real consequences instead of just a goofball weekly episode that's kind of a nothing burger. This is exactly that. It is darker. It is more mature. It is, I mean, it's everything I wanted, basically. I'm sitting at a 9 out of 10 for this episode. James,
yeah, I'm at a 9 as well.
So you guys hit a lot of nails on the head for me. This show, it wore the more mature tone very well.
Absolutely.
This show, for one thing, it's a two-parter. You can very much feel the energy that they're bringing for the two-parter in this. It's been a while since I've had this much fun seeing a show transition to the two-part, let's take it really serious thing.
That was such a fun throwback, it felt like.
Exactly. I sat there and I was like, I haven't felt like this watching something animated in forever.
Yeah, when the To Be Continued popped up on my screen, it felt like Saturday morning 9 years ago or something.
It felt, and this is the highest compliment I think you can make a DC thing. It felt like the DCAU.
Wow. I agree.
I genuinely mean that. And one thing that we didn't get into, but it's a good thing to talk about pre-spoilers, I loved seeing this Clark struggle with the power with the hearing.
Yeah,
that was cool. It was kind of making him like burn out and panic a little bit.
I just found that very endearing. I actually thought it did it better than the little school scene in Man of Steel.
Yeah.
I loved it. And I loved seeing Clark. You really felt him and how young he was when he looked around and saw that they were all scared and he just was apologizing. He was completely not prepared for that moment at all. And it was good.
Well, how about we get into some spoilers here?
Let's do it.
I think are we all at a 9?
Yes, we're all at a 9.
I'm at a 9. Depending on part 2, I could give it a 10, but we'll see.
Holy Plot gives it a 9. Jacob, or James rather, take us into spoilers.
James, you go ahead.
All right, say it with me, all. Spectacular Superman.
Yep.
This episode brought us basically the Sinister Six. It reveals to us that this entire time when they've been doing these Freak of the Week villains, and they're also, teasing Amanda Waller and the Suicide Squad. I can't believe the entire time I didn't think, these could be the members of the Suicide Squad, but that's what they did. They all dropped out of the battle bus and they just started absolutely kicking his ass.
Dude, this show, one of the few things I can be definitely a little critical on is its action animation. That fight sequence was so electric. It was
Sorry.
just so riveting. I
Superman
loved.
felt well and truly outmatched.
Yeah, it was kind of crazy.
And he still had weight to him too. I didn't feel like he was getting like punched around, but I also felt like it was very believable, and I loved it. It was such a cool way to bring it all back together. And I mean, I think they could have done a better job of building up to the moment, but the moment was definitely worth it. And I think a lot of people are going to come out of this episode super satisfied with, and definitely like feel like their time has been worthwhile.
Well, I mean, I appreciated when they were taking Vicky Vale, which I also want to talk about that.
Yeah, for sure.
I appreciated when they were going back and you were actually seeing all these people he saved in the episodes.
Mm-hmm.
This is what a good show does, especially an animated show. I mean, this happens in live action too, but a good animated show goes back and looks at episodes that people discount as filler and says, no, we're going to bring this back, we're going to keep it rolling, and we're going to change how you feel about it. The best animated shows do it. And this episode, I feel like really started to wear what it's capable of, and I enjoyed the hell out of it.
Yeah,
That's very, very well done.
That's exactly what I wanted to say. Like that, the juxtaposition of having this lighthearted show and then just having that 180 in the moment sneaks up on you a little bit.
It does.
It really, I think this has way more weight to it because of that. And especially with the start of the episode in particular, it also plays to that light golden age Superman, saving cats out of trees. They mock at it a little bit. And then to follow it up with such a climactic, gritty moment, I thought was very, very well done.
Him getting grabbed and drained by Parasite was almost like something out of Invincible.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it reminded me of Invincible. Yeah, no, this show kind of almost feels like it wanted you to think that it wasn't capable of shaking up the tone like this.
Yeah.
So
super exciting stuff. I can't wait for part 2.
Yeah, now, so we want to talk about Vicky Vale for a sec, because man, it's starting to feel like we're gonna start getting some DC crossover stuff. They're laying a lot of groundwork.
Yeah, they mentioned my boy Oliver Queen in this, and I didn't expect that coming. And like I think maybe it was one of the earlier reviews we did, or is it a sidebar conversation we had? If there was one DC character I'd want in the show that I think would fit the tone, it would be Oliver Queen. So that was pretty cool. That's a case of glup shitting that I enjoyed.
I know I am the villain in this scenario, according to Superman fans, but I would eventually like to see Batman in this universe. I'm sorry.
I mean,
I would too.
But guys,
I
we gotta talk about it. We gotta talk about it. The return of Alex.
That's true.
Oh yeah,
dude, I don't remember who said it. I think it might have been you, Jacob. That's so Lex Luthor. It's not even funny.
Dude, when he popped up, I literally was like, huh. I was like,
ahoy, ahoy! I did not know you were here,
dude. He's so Lex. Like, look at those eyebrows.
It's such a perfect young Lex too. That's how you do young Lex.
I thought it took the best parts of Eisenberg. It took his like methodical, kind of like silent nature, and it just did it better.
Yeah, and he was just more reserved and not acting like the Riddler.
I know this might be a bit of a controversial take, but I do like Lex to be a bit younger than Superman because I think it plays to his flaws as a character more, like his naivete and his arrogance. I think him kind of looking up at Superman and hating him, I think is more compelling.
Mm-hmm. Well, I like him when he's a little older because, before Superman shows up, he just feels like he's in his absolute prime. And then Superman just comes in and reduces all of the pride he feels in himself. So I like him to be older. I like him to be, basically, he feels like he's the perfect version of himself before Superman shakes up the game.
Yeah, I'm kind of with James on this one.
Well, unless you guys have anything else, I think that sums up what I feel about the episode. Once again, loved it to death. Go watch it, please.
Yeah, it was great. If you are a Superman fan and you are iffy on this show and you feel like the goofy stuff wouldn't jive with you, get through the goof. There's good stuff in the goof, but get through it because the show is shaping up to have a fantastic ending. 9 out of 10. Go watch it.
This is everything that I wanted this show to bring to maybe prove some of the discourse around it wrong. I'm very happy about it, and I cannot wait to see how this ends. Can't wait for the next season, and I hope maybe this gets some staying power from people enjoying it.
Well, with that all said, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. This has been Holy Plot. We are Liam, Jacob, and James, and we'll catch you next time. Have a good one.